This new survival game, Project Castaways, is something like Stranded Deep and Green Hell have had a weird offspring, and this is it. It's very strange, it looks awesome, and it is loads of fun. They're currently having a playtest on Steam, so if you do want to check the game out for yourself, I'd recommend signing up. When there are spaces, it will open up. It took me around about a day and a half to be able to get in, but hopefully there's still some decent spaces left. Now, if you are a fan of survival games, subscribe to the channel, drop a like on the video, and stick around for much more survival content. Project Castaways is developed and published by Mardonpol Inc. I think that's how you pronounce it. I may be completely way off there, and if I am, I do apologise. It is a survival crafting title set in the Pacific Ocean, where you will see yourself stranded on a desert island as a castaway with only yourself and the island's inhabitants for company. Now, the island's inhabitants, they don't look all too friendly, and they might hurt a little bit. And that goes with the island's wildlife. The wildlife looks incredibly brutal, and they do pack a punch, some of the bigger things that you'll come across. Now, the game will see you exploring the island and gathering resources as you fight for survival. It is an early access title, and the planned release is June 2024, so in around about 4 months from now. But at the moment, the game looks really good. It definitely reminds me a lot of Stranded Deep, and has much more of the hardcore survival mechanics in there too, such as hunger, pneumonia. You're going to need to drink, eat a lot, and keep an eye on your status. You can get poisoned, all of those good things. You know, the things that make survival games a little bit infuriating, but exhilarating at the same time. There's even a sanity system, which has you hallucinating and seeing some pretty deadly things that can actually kill you and drive you to the complete brink of madness. So keeping an eye on your sanity levels, getting enough nutrients, enough food and sleep is going to be a big key part of the game. Now, can we find a Wilson because this is a Project Castaways? I don't know, but I definitely hope so. The game also has a detailed crafting and building system. It's not overly complex, it's nice and simple. It is a bit laborious when it comes to actually building things. It does have that system like the forest where you're going to need to pick up 2 or 3 logs at the same time, similar once again to Stranded Deep. Now, the first bit of news I could find about the game was on January the 30th of 2022. So the game has been in development for over 2 years. And shortly after that, in 2022, they announced a price of $9.99. Whether that has changed in the 2 years, I can't find a current price or what they're recommending for the price in any newer updates. But there may be something out there for that. But hopefully, around that $9.99 mark, will be great for what the game is. It is definitely similar to Stranded Deep and Green Hell, and being able to obviously paddle across the islands, search shipwrecks. I really like that hardcore element inside with that beauty element at the same time. So Stranded Deep and Green Hell sort of pretty much like rolled into one, and that was really cool. Green Hell was, I loved the difficulty of some of the things in the game, but the horror element there as well was quite cool. But I like that this has that difficulty without that sort of horror element. Similar to what Winter Survival has, but Winter Survival is still a little bit more dark and dingy. Whereas this being available on a nice open beach and seeing the waves crashing in against the shore, it's quite a nice relaxing thing. Now, they do have a Discord and website. All of that good stuff is linked in the description down below. Now, it is important to note that the game is in early access, and this is just a playtest. So a lot could change, a lot could be added and mixed around between now and the game actually releasing into full early access in about 4 months' time. Now, from what I've played, I've enjoyed it. If you do want to see a gameplay video, let me know down below in the comments, and we'll do that as well. But overall, I played for about an hour and a half, 2 hours, and really enjoyable. It's not too fast-paced, but it's not too slow-paced. It's that nice mix in the middle. It keeps you going, keeps you enjoying it, and it's not too difficult to start with. The learning curve is not over-cumbersome. The crafting, relatively simple, and yes, building a house can be a little bit slow, but there is the ability to do that as and when you want to, and it's just an enjoyable, relaxing process. It's not a hardcore survival game in terms of everything's out to get you 24/7. It does have those little harder aspects, but it's much more on the lighter side, more enjoyable ways. But being able to craft the things that you can craft, such as the boat, and obviously being able to build yourself a nice hut on the beach, It's good and it's enjoyable. It's very bare bones. I don't know if they are going to be adding more storylines or anything like that. There's not too much in the way of news on Steam. There's a little bit more in the Discord, but I don't use Discord all too often. And it's not really anything that the game or the Steam page doesn't tell you itself, which it would be good to see some more news from the team. There's not too much out there on social media for them either. So hopefully, they did get a little bit more feedback, a little bit more news. Something I do really like about it is the modes that you can play. You can play on survival mode or challenge mode, and then you've got a hardcore option. Survival is your basic survival game, and challenge mode just offers a more relaxed experience, and you're not having to craft everything 24/7. It's just a little bit more laid back. The survival one is the full-out survival mode. You need to eat, drink, craft everything that you're going to want to use, and it's just a little bit more hardcore than the standard challenge. Now, performance-wise, the game performed really, really well, and it was enjoyable to play, but at the moment, it is very bare bones. It is, as I say, just a playtest, so there's not too much to it. Judging by the trailer, they're going to be adding a lot more cool stuff, and hopefully it progresses really well between now and the actual launch. Like I say, I've spent a little bit of time on it. There was a decent chunk to do to keep me going for a while, but if I'd paid 20 quid, I would be pissed off, I think. So at the moment, brilliant. Graphics are brilliant. Looks really cool. Performs really, really well. I had a little bit of a frame drop when I was trying to shimmy my way up a mountain into a lighthouse. But other than that, everything was fine. And enjoyed it. Looks beautiful. Everything's easy to understand. Great game. Recommend checking out the playtest if you do have the time. And keeping an eye on the development for this one. Hopefully it goes well. Hopefully we see some more news between now and the launch. As it comes to plans and what they're actually going to be adding to the game. Now, as mentioned, if you do want to see a gameplay video of it, as well as the stuff in the background that's going on, I recorded the whole thing, so if you do want to see that, let me know down in the comments below. I'll break it down into some more interesting bits. But now, though, we are going to wrap that one up there. Hopefully you've enjoyed. If you're a fan of Project Castaways and other survival games in general, make sure you subscribe to the channel. If you're a fan of Bethesda titles, then make sure you check out our second channel, The Space Cowboy, which is where we cover mainly Starfield and other Bethesda titles. But let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. But now though, I've been Wyatt. You guys have been awesome. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.